And you are listening to WTJU Show, so thanks to Terry for those first couple hours of Back Up and Push. But we're down here at the stage now. My name's Peter, thrilled to be with you. We've got Tom Mindte in from Patuxent, and joining him is my favorite barber out here in Virginia, Jim Lloyd. And together they're going to be putting on a show for us in celebration of Jim's new album, The Ghost of Virginia, out now on Patuxent. Before we chat, how about you all kick off with something?
All right. This song expresses my sentiments about the banjo, and not many people feel like this, but it's me. It's called Banjo and the Instrument for Me. I like an old piano, I like the fiddle too. The guitar makes the music mighty sweet. But when I hear the banjo, my heart is bright and free. Oh, the banjo and the instrument for me. Well, let me hear the banjo. I like the good old five-string melody. It makes me feel so happy. My heart's so bright and free. Oh, the banjo and the instrument for me. I used to court the ladies and play on the old banjo. They'd gather around me happy as can be. That's why the cute one liked me one night she told me so. Oh, the banjo and the instrument for me. Well, let me hear the banjo. I like that good old five-string melody. I makes me feel so happy. My heart's so bright and free. Oh, the banjo and the instrument for me. Mandolin. Now I'm old and feeble, grandchildren by the score. Every night they sit upon my knee. That's when I scoot them over just to make a little room. Oh, the banjo and the instrument for me. Well, let me hear the banjo. I like that good old five-string melody. It makes me feel so happy. My heart's so bright and free. Oh, the banjo and the instrument for me. Thank you.
Live here at the stage, that's Jim Lloyd. You just heard her doing the banjo and the instrument for me. And joining him on stage is Tom Mindte on mandolin. Well, welcome to WTJU.
Well, thank you.
Good to be here.
Great to have you in. Tom, not your first time, but Jim, I don't think we've had you in before.
No, this is my first time up here. Really enjoyed it. I hope maybe my reputation doesn't precede me up here.
Well, I'm still trying to get it right.
Thank you, Tom.
Well, Jim, let's talk for a minute about your background. Obviously, you're a banjo player. I know you're a great guitar player. What got you listening to music of this sort?
Well, it was always there. Both of my grandfathers, were medicine show performers in the 30s, 40s. Even my grandfather Lloyd was still doing it up into the 50s. And then I had my father was a real rocker. He just absolutely loved 50s rock and roll, which was his era, and so that was always around. And then I had a great uncle that played with Bill Monroe in the late 50s, so I had a pretty rounded, that's what somebody told me, my musical background is eclectic. I learned that word just to say that.
Well, we always run records on all the folks coming to town, and I saw a little prison history in your family background.
Well, yeah, Dad was arrested in 1958 for dancing at a Jerry Lee Lewis concert. That's how much he liked rock and roll, and he told me that a couple of years before he died, and I thought it was the neatest story. He's been gone about 2 years now, and I thought it was a great story, but he didn't like it. He said that he was dancing with some pretty thing, and a policeman walked up and told him to sit down, and he said, "How many of you are there?" And the guy said, "1." He said, "That ain't enough." When they got to 4, they took him to the car. So the judge said either go in the Army or go to jail. So he went in the Army and ended up getting out of town.
Now, I'm curious, your grandfathers, you said that, part of the medicine shows, were they musicians themselves?
Oh,
or?
yes.
Okay, and what were their instruments?
About anything either one of them could play numerous instruments. They were very. One of them became a preacher, so he had to leave all that stuff alone. But the other one was he had a wide variety of stuff. He played on all of them.
Did any
all
of those
kinds of
instruments
music.
get passed on to you, or?
Yes, I have one. I just there was one mandolin, believe it or not, that got passed down.
Well, I want to talk about the banjo in your hand.
Well, I do have Uncle Buddy's banjo, the one that was with Bill Monroe. I've got his,
wow.
but this is not it.
Okay.
This one's this is a 1928 Gibson Bella Voce, and they made 15 of them. And out of the 15, there's 4 known, so it's a pretty rare bird.
Now, I always am curious for a multi-instrumentalist, if you had to pick one instrument to take on a desert island, what would it be? Would it be
Oh,
the
man.
banjo, or?
A helicopter.
Helicopter, yeah. Jew's harp or something like that. That's really tough question. I love guitar and I love banjo both. I still spend hours with either one of them and lose complete track of time with it.
Well, I've got lots more questions, but we're here to celebrate your new album, The Ghost of Virginia, out on Patuxent right now. And how about we get another one from you?
All right, we're gonna do one. That's not the song. I'm just tuning. We're gonna do one now that came from my favorite banjo player, a fellow down in Wilkesboro, North Carolina, named Clarence Ashley. And Clarence was on the medicine show circuit too. And a lot of our music that you hear now did come from Clarence. He passed it down through different people. And this is called Walkin Boss. The Walkin Boss was the guy on the railroad that he did the hiring and the firing, and he was a good man to be on the good side of. So this is called Walkin Boss. Walkin boss, you're the boss, but I don't belong to you. I belong, yes I belong, and I get along with that steel driving crew. I asked the boss for a job, I want a job. He said, son, what can you do? I can line a track, I can walk a jack, I can line some track, I can pick and shovel too. I can work all day without no pay, work all day and sleep in a shanty too. Walkin boss, you're the boss, but I don't belong to you. Walkin boss, you're the boss, but I don't belong to you. I belong, yes I belong, I get along with that steel driving crew. Thank you.
Walkin Boss there from Jim Lloyd, and on stage with him playing mandolin, Tom Mindte. And Jim's got a brand new album out, The Ghost of Virginia, out now on Patuxent. And what's real nice about that album is, you think banjo or guitar and mandolin, straight out old time or country, but no, this album's got it all. And that's there's good music and then there's bad music, and you put a lot of good music on this album.
Well, thank you.
Let's talk about the songs you got on that album.
The Ghost of Virginia, of course, is the title track, and that's written by a fellow named Justin Earl, who's not with us any longer. And the interesting thing about this, I really didn't think about it when I did it. There's a song on there called "Devil's Right Hand," which Steve Earle, Justin Earl's father, wrote. Yeah. So we got a father and son songwriting team on there, and we've got some Uncle Dave Macon. She's Got the Money Too, which came straight off the vaudeville stage, 1890s, I guess. And then there's some pretty interesting things on the banjo, aren't there, Tom?
There's some stuff that you wouldn't normally hear a banjo player in his right mind do.
Yeah, I've not been in my right mind for a long time. Thinking about my father with his background, I grew up hearing a lot of the 60s rock. So I'm going to tell this on you, Tom. When we agreed to do this album, I said, "Tom, what do you want?" And he said, "Well, I don't know what I want, but I can tell you what I don't want." He said, "I don't want stuff that's been recorded over and over in the same way." And I said, "Okay." And so I ended up taking the banjo, and I did the Monkees, and I did Herman's Hermits, and I did Dave Clark, and sent the album to Tom, and I didn't hear anything back from him. And I finally called him, and I said, "Tom, what do you think?" He said, "Well, I don't know." And I said, "What do you mean you don't know?" He said, "Well, it's different." I said, "That's what you said you wanted." But I think he saw the light, haven't you, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, it was so different that I'm thinking, wow, is this something that people will buy? And then I started thinking about a lot of the folks that are into old-time music now and didn't really grow up with it, always liked music, and they were listening to music in the 60s, and they heard the songs that Jim played, and they're still in their head. And now that they're listening to old-time music, and it's got the best of both worlds, they can hear those old songs that they loved in the way that they love to listen to music now. So it worked out great.
Yeah, and I've always tried to shape things, well, kind of to suit me. So it may not sound exactly like what they did, and that's fine. I don't want it to, but we're going to do the Steve Earle song now. And I remember it's funny because when we did this in the recording studio, the sound engineer looked at me and said, "Is that a Carter family song?" Mm-hmm. And I knew I'd done a good job when he said that. So
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. We got the mighty L5 here. So we're going to do this is called The Devil's Right Hand. About the time my daddy went to fight the Great War, saw my first pistol in the company store. The company store when I was 13, thought it was the finest thing I ever had seen. I asked if I could have one when I growed up. Mama broke a dozen eggs and really blew up. She really blew up and I didn't understand. Mama said the pistol is the devil's right hand. She really blew up and I didn't understand. Mama said the pistol is the devil's right hand. Devil's right hand, the devil's right hand. Mama said the pistol is the devil's right hand. My first pistol was a cap and ball Colt. It could shoot as fast as lightning, but it loads a mite slow. Loads a mite slow, and I soon found out it can get you into trouble, but it can't get you out. Then I went and bought a Colt 45, called a peacemaker, though I didn't know why. I didn't know why, and I'll never understand. Mama said the pistol is the devil's right hand. I didn't know why, and I'll never understand. Mama said the pistol is the devil's right hand. Devil's right hand, the devil's right hand. Mama said the pistol is the devil's right hand. I got in a car game in a company town. I caught a miner cheating and I shot the dog down. Shot the dog down and watched the dog fall. He never touched his holster, never had a chance to draw. The trial was in the morning, they drugged me out of bed. They asked me how I pled. Not guilty, I said. Not guilty, I said. You got the wrong man. Nothing touched the trigger but the devil's right hand. Not guilty, I said, you got the wrong man. Nothing touched the trigger but the devil's right hand. Devil's right hand, the devil's right hand. Nothing touched the trigger but the devil's right hand. Thank you.
Steve Earle's The Devil's Right Hand there, done by Jim Lloyd and Tom Mindte. And you can find that on Jim's new album, The Ghost of Virginia, out now on Patuxent. And before that, you were telling the story about playing that tune. Somebody thought it was a Carter Family tune. And one of the reasons I don't mind the Grateful Dead is that a lot of bluegrass musicians out there now start listening to the Grateful Dead and learn those tunes, and then they start going back and learning the real history of those
Right.
songs.
It's like a gateway, sure.
And so now it's kind of the reverse. Folks are going to hear your song and say, man, that's great. And now they might discover a 60s era rock band.
But the significant thing about that is the person who thought it was a Carter Family song was Wes, right?
Wesley Easter, right?
Who is one of the best engineers, and he knows this music inside and out. So fooled him, that's really something.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked when he
Yeah.
said that. That's
Yeah.
the truth. And then you ought to have seen his face when I said, no, Steve Earle wrote it.
He almost deleted it, didn't he?
Well, we talked about the banjo. Let's talk about the guitar you got.
This is a recent development. This is I've had about 2 months now. This is a 1950 L5 Gibson, and they were the very top of the line Gibson. I'm totally in love with this. It's been a wonderful discovery, and I will have it paid off when I'm 105.
I'm awful glad he got it, because he's been, craving it for months and saying, I got to get that guitar, I got to get that guitar. And I found two here, I found two there. And so he's got it now. So now he's going to move on to the next thing.
When I sent Tom a picture of it when I first got it, he said, good, we can hear it and stop hearing you talk about one.
Well, this brings up the inevitable question. When I asked Tony Trishka how many banjos he had, he said he was holding at 21. So I'm curious.
Don't ask me that.
All right. We'll avoid that topic.
It's my madness.
Yeah.
Banjos, probably 150,
goodness.
maybe more. I've got them from 1840 up. Guitars, maybe 35 or so.
Goodness.
And my wife has put up with it. And it's kind of funny because I own 2 fiddles and 1 mandolin. And I went to get, of course, there's instruments all over the house, and she doesn't say anything about it. And went to get something out of the refrigerator one day, and I saw this fiddle laying next to the refrigerator, and I thought, well, I don't remember that. So I picked it up and opened it up, and I thought, I've never seen this. And I hollered at her. I said, hey, where'd this fiddle come from? She said, it's mine. Leave it alone. So she's got 1 fiddle.
All right. Don't touch it. Well, besides, when you're not on the road, you do cut hair, I've heard.
Some, yeah.
So I'm curious. Do you play music in the shop?
Oh,
or?
all the time. Yeah, it happens all the time. We daily. And on Thursday, there's got to be a group that comes around and plays some. And it's funny because a lot of former students come by. I teach a lot too, and this is my 40th year cutting hair, which is kind of hard to believe. I started when I was 10.
And Tom, how did you and Jim first meet up?
Oh God.
Well, we both go to a lot of fiddlers conventions. So there was one called Fiddler's Grove, and he always had his set up there, and I called it Lloyd Holler, because there was all kinds of students, young people, old people, and they were all picking, and it sounded awful good. And I spent a lot of time just listening to what they were doing. and I don't know if y'all realize this. Probably not. I'll have to tell you. He has a great sense of humor, and so he was always cutting up. One fella lost his car keys. Okay, and Jim found them, and the guy says, guy that lost the keys says, well, let me see if they're in the car or something. So he started towards the car, and Jim hit the panic button. The car, beep, beep, beep. And then he'd turn around, and Jim would stop it and start it and stop it.
Now, that was not pre-planned. What happened, I found these keys, and I thought, well, how can I find out whose key this is? And I started just punched up in the air, and he got a little upset about that. Of course,
That's what made it funny.
When he cut it off, I cut it back on, and when he cut it off, I cut it back on, and they finally pulled out, and the hatch lid came up on the thing, and the windshield wipers come on, and his wife thought it was funny, but I don't think he did.
But anyway, so we met at Fiddlers Conventions, and that's it. And so after knowing him that well, I really surprised myself when he asked me to do the album, and I said okay. But anyway, we've known each other for over 20 years. So
easily, it's been a long time.
Well, you both have a great connection I want to talk about when we come back, but how about we get another one from you?
Okay. Right. Let's, being heavily influenced by Merle Travis, obviously I had a great uncle that was just a wonderful fingerstyle player, and he kind of turned me on to Merle Travis, but I actually think he was just as good as Merle. So let's do one of those songs. This is Midnight Special, which has been covered by a lot of people, including Creedence Clearwater. But Leadbelly, I think, is credited with writing it. And the Midnight Special was a train. So when the train would come through, they said if the light reflected into your cell, that you would be paroled or let out of jail early. So everybody wanted to see the Midnight Special light shine in their cell. I'm hoping for that too. Well, if you ever go to Houston, boy, you better act right. You better not gamble. You better not fight. Sheriff's men will arrest you, boys. They'll sure take you down. Bet your bottom dollar you're jailhouse bound. Let the Midnight Special shine a light on me. Let the Midnight Special shine her ever-loving light on me. Well, they get you in the morning when that big bell rings. They march you to the table. It's the same old thing. Fork and spooner on the table, boys. Ain't no ham in my pan. Say anything about it, you got trouble with the man. Let the Midnight Special shine her light on me. Let the Midnight Special shine her ever-loving light on me. Get it, Tom. Yonder come Miss Rosie, how in the world do I know? Well, I know her by her apron and the clothes she wore. Umbrella on her shoulder, boys, piece of paper in her hand. Been to see the governor, she come to get her man. Let the Midnight Special shine a light on me. Let the Midnight Special shine her ever-loving light on me. Let the Midnight Special shine her light on me. Let the Midnight Special shine her ever-loving light on me. Thank you.
Lead Belly's Midnight Special there, done by Jim Lloyd and accompanying him, Tom Mindte from Patuxent. Now, I talked about these two have got something that they share, and, you know, shining that light on young people is something you both do so well. Tom, you brought in so many young folks who've gone on and had great careers, and, you know, some just enjoy playing music, but, you know, I'm thinking of Victor Furtado, Nate Leith, the Wildmans, the list goes on, Jordan Tice. It's amazing. And, Jim, I know you've got that connection with Junior Appalachian music as well.
Yeah, I work for Junior Appalachian Musicians, which is JAM. I've been with them about 8 years now, and we've more than doubled the size. We teach traditional Appalachian. We have 65 chapters in 7 states now. We run from Salty, Georgia, all the way to Morgantown, West Virginia, and teaching about 2,500 kids a year. So it's it's like I told you a while ago. It's like drinking water out of a fire hose is what it's like. But it's fun and it's exciting, and it's really nice to know that this music will continue. The kids are really enthusiastic about playing it and learning it. It's very, very rewarding.
How does jam work? Are you actually getting the instruments in the kids' hands?
We do. It's an after-school program, so if they sign up, they get the instrument of their choice for as long as they're in the program. And we start them in 4th grade, and we run them up through high school, 18, and now we've got several that have come through the program that are now teaching for us. So it's kind of self-perpetuating.
And Tom, what got you bringing in these youngsters with the Patuxent? Because that's always been one of my favorite things about Patuxent is we're getting a lot of established musicians, but you're also doing such a great job giving these youngsters a chance that you see potential in.
That's the reason you signed me up.
That's what I figured.
Well, I somehow can see when I meet a young musician, I can tell if they've got it. You know what I mean by it? You know, that gift. And sometimes it needs some development, and sometimes it's already pretty much there. And we'll let them go for a few years, and I'll see how they do, and then when they're ready, and it has to be a situation where I'll make my money back. So they have to have a desire to go out there and work in the music business, and most of them work out that way. And some of them have gone on to be famous musicians, and like you say, some of them think they're going to be into it, and then they get into other things. But you take your chances, and you help out people, and it's a fun thing to do.
Well, it's like you said too, the it when you when you see that light come on in the kids' eyes, there's nothing like that experience when you see they realize I can do this, or this is funner than I thought it was going to be. So.
And Jim, do you ever get, if you're teaching somebody, all of a sudden they're better than you? That happens, you know. And then
quite a bit.
Yeah, and then I say, okay, that's it. You either don't need a teacher or you need somebody besides me. So now some teachers are not willing to do that, and they got an ego problem, and I've run into them too. But what you got to do, if you get a gifted student, you show them the right road, and then they're going to take off on that road. And
you know, Tom and I both go to a lot of fiddlers conventions, and the competition, most of the time's good natured, sometimes not, but most of the time's good natured. But what I've had people tell me, you know, when my student beats me in a competition, you know, aren't you upset? No, I did my job. I'm glad that they beat me.
Yeah, I showed a young fella a break that I did on East Tennessee blues, and then he got in the contest and played my break and beat me.
Yep.
Which is fine.
Well, and you know, I always try to encourage them and tell them that that's not why you're here. You're not here to win. You're here for the experience, and winning is just icing on the cake, and I will hold it against you if you beat me. But they don't hold back anyway. So. No. And I'm really glad they don't. Like I said, it's a real treat. I've got several of them that I taught that are now playing for a living, and I've said this before, but when you're teaching like that, I was teaching long before I was with Jam, but you know, there's a little piece of me that's going to go on forever. and no one will recognize it as me, but that's still all right.
Right.
There's still a little bit of me going on there.
Well, those just tuning in, that's Jim Lloyd and Tom Mindte up on stage here at WTJU. Jim's got a new album out, The Ghost of Virginia, out now on Patuxent. And these two have kindly come into Charlottesville to play for us all. And how about we get another one from you?
Well, I think we got enough people here to sing one with us. And this is an unusual sing-along, but I think it'd be fun to do. And, well, I'd like to thank the Virginia Department of Corrections for loaning us Tom for the night. And he gets upset if you don't sing. I hope this works, Tom.
We'll see what happens.
This is one of my dad's favorites, so you guys will know where to come in at. This is called Love Potion Number 9. I took myself down to Madame Root. You know that gypsy with the gold cap tooth. She's got a pad on 34th and Vine, selling little bottles of Love Potion Number 9. I told her about my bad luck with chicks. I've been this way since 1956. She looked at my palm and she made a magic sign. Said what you need is
Love Potion Number 9.
Get it, Tom. I jumped down and turned around and gave me a wink. She said, I'm gonna fix it up right here in the sink. It smelled like turpentine, it looked like India ink. I held my nose, I closed my eyes. I took a drink. I couldn't tell if it was day or night. I started kissing everything in sight. But when I kissed a cop on 34th and Vine, he broke my little bottle of
Love Potion Number 9. Love Potion Number 9. Love Potion Number 9.
Good job, guys. You were good too, Tom. I won.
I know.
Jim Lloyd, Tom Mindte up on our stage here at WTJ doing Love Potion Number 9. And you can find that on Jim's brand new album, The Ghost of Virginia.
That was not on there.
Oh, no, it's not on
We
there.
just
All right,
did that
I
for fun.
apologize. All right.
Might
But-
be on the next one.
Yes, indeed.
There's going to be a next one?
Well, I think Rounder's looking for something like that.
Well, going back to the title track, The Ghost of Virginia, how did you decide on that one as the title track?
Well, that's kind of funny because I had never heard of Justintown Earls. The boss of Jam, the director, I'm program director of the whole thing, so I'm number 2. Of course, you all knew I was number 2. We were on our way somewhere. Like I said, we ran from Saltee to Georgia to Morgantown, West Virginia, so there's a lot of driving. And we were somewhere late at night going through, and she was listening to the radio and had a CD on or something, and we were talking, and I heard it, and I thought, well, that is such a cool song, and it kind of stayed in my mind. So then I went and found out a little bit about Justintown Earls, and just thought that was just the coolest, story song, and that from that I just continued to do it, and we decided just to do it on the album, and we decided that was just the best song to do for the title track.
I want to talk about the cover art on that CD. Where did that art come from?
That came from a local artist in Louisville, Virginia, named Dina Green, and I gave her banjo lessons. So when we decided to do the album and do that as the cover track, I asked her if she could do a steam locomotive for me, so she agreed to. She's a very talented lady.
And if folks want to find that CD, where can they find it?
Well, Tom's got a truckload of them, don't you, Tom?
You can get them at the Patuxent website, www.pxrec.com.
That's pxrec.com.
And I've got some out of the barber shop if you're in Rural Retreat. And if you catch me out playing, I've got some. So
Well, we've got a link up at WTJU.net to both Jim's site and also Patuxent's website. So check out WTJU.net and you'll click on those links and take you right there, and maybe even directions down to that barber shop so you can pick up a copy and get it signed.
all right.
All right, what's up next?
Well, let's do the title song there, Tom. Also, another thing about learning this song, state of Virginia, when you are doing folk music like we're doing, you are required by law to do a ghost song and a train song and a love song and a murder song. And we really don't have time for all that, so we're going to condense that into one
Put 'em all
song.
in one,
This is a ghost train song. Well, she comes out at night with the cold winds of December. When it's quiet, you can hear her engines cry. Smoke pours out her wheels and her gears pound the steel as they carry her on down the line. I'm sure you've heard stories, as most of us have, at the lunch counter and barbershop queues. She's the ghost of Virginia, running from Raleigh to Richmond, and she runs by the light of the moon. A few years back, on the old Suffolk Road, where it crosses the abandoned rail line, my grandpa claimed that he saw a freight train, and it wasn't no sleek streamline. She was cold, black and steel, and she screamed as she cut her way up through the pines. And he swears to this day he can feel the earth shake, smell her smoke when the wind is just right. Back in her day, she was a real working horse, hauling coal out for old man Ward. They dressed her up in ribbons and sent her out of Richmond, hauling soldiers dear in the war. Some claim she wrecked and she rides these rails, hoping one day that she'll get it right. Others say she roams out picking up lost souls and carrying them down to Carolina. So if you're ever out on the old Suffolk Road and you see the strangest of sights, she's the ghost of Virginia, running from Raleigh to Richmond, and you best stay out of her light. Yeah, you best stay out of her light. Thank you.
Live here at the stage, Jim Lloyd and Tom Mindte doing the title track to Jim's new album, The Ghost of Virginia, out now on Patuxent. And you can find that album over at pxrec.com or at Jim's Barbershop or wherever they might be playing. Jim, I know you've got some gigs coming up.
Yeah, I'm really excited about one that's, well, let's see. Next Saturday, I'll be at home on the couch watching TV.
Is it open to the public?
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. Come on by. We'll bring some popcorn or something. I've got a booking that was really unusual. I got a phone call. This will be on the 27th and 28th of this month. I got a phone call from West Virginia, and the West Virginia Bigfoot Festival asked me to come up and do some music for them for 2 days. And I said, well, that sounds kind of fun, actually. I think it'd be fun. And I said, how many people are in attendance at this thing? And they said 30,000. Yeah, yeah. Now that's not just Bigfoots. There's other people there too. But I'm really looking forward to that. I like playing festivals like that where you see different things, and I think I fit in.
I played the Pirate Festival one time.
R.
Yeah, and they were all dressed up like pirates and had hook
Yeah.
hands and talked like pirates.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think so, but
And when's that gonna? When's
That's
that
the
coming
27th to 28th of this month.
up? All right, and folks want to they can just look up Bigfoot Festival and
The
come
West
right up?
Virginia Bigfoot Festival,
right.
yeah.
Well,
you know what you ought to do at your record table is bring some Dr. Scholl's merchandise.
Yeah, that worked good.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, when you're on the road, what do you find yourself listening to? Is it all over the gamut?
It's all over the place. It's I really do have a very fondness for 60s rock, but I listen to anything, and I've been listening to Frank Sinatra lately because my bass player likes Frank Sinatra. So when we're on the road together, he'll say, well, let's listen to this. So we're actually trying to work some of his stuff up, which is going to be really interesting. Tom wanted to hear that, I'm sure.
I do. I like it too.
Yeah,
Have him work up. Y'all work up. I got the world on the string, and I'll play it with you.
Okay, we'll try it.
you heard it here, folks. WTJU, and Jim, I know you've got a little radio background yourself.
Yeah, I was been involved in radio really off and on since high school. So it always. We recently, through Tom, we went down and did a radio show down in Mount Airy, North Carolina, for the station. I worked for the sister affiliate of that station, and it's been a long time since I've been in radio. So when I was in there, and this would have been 30 years ago, which is no time really, but we were using tube equipment. We had reel-to-reel tape. It was quite an adventure sometimes because that old equipment, now it's completely different, all the digitized stuff. And it's pretty interesting to see the change. And we used to, of course, we played actual records.
Yeah.
So
well,
you had to know how to cue them up and all that.
well, if you look behind you,
Oh, yeah?
yeah. Well, if you look behind you,
Oh, right. I see all the albums behind us
Yeah,
here.
and-
Yeah.
that's just a small number, but a lot of our DJs love playing vinyl, and some of our rockers have even gotten to playing cassettes again. So we've got a cassette player up there in the air studio.
Wow.
How about 8-track?
We've got it one, but we just have to install it. 'Cause
Okay.
occasionally folks say, "Hey, we want to play this," and that's the only way we've got it. The old cart machine or the 8-track. So
Wow. Yeah,
Well-
that's great.
we've got about 17 minutes left before jazz comes up at 7 o'clock. So how about we get another one in from you?
All right, we're going to do a song that I got from Uncle Dave Macon, and he was a flamboyant banjo player. He was really the first banjo star of the radio. Earl Scruggs, this is long before Earl Scruggs. It was 1925. He was the second performer on the Grand Ole Opry. He had a lot of humor about him, and that's one aspect that I think we have in common. I like songs that kind of make people smile, and this one, like I say, is straight off the vaudeville stage, and it's got to do with kind of I'd say a shallow young man that likes a lady with a lot of money. And that hits a little close to home for me, but we're going to go ahead and do this anyway. This is called She's Got the Money Too. just as fond of beauty as any man can be. Those pearly teeth and rosy cheeks I dearly love to see. I know someone that has them, excepting me and you. Oh, she is the cutest girlie, and she's got the money too. Now won't I love my honey? Lord, yes. Won't I spend her money? I'm as happy as a flower that sips the falling dew. For I've got a little girlie, and she's got the money too. She takes me out a riding whenever I come round. She owns the finest Cadillac and Buick in the town. She tells me that she loves me, oh listen wouldn't you. Oh, she is the cutest girlie, and she's got the money too. Now won't I love my honey? Lord, yes. Won't I spend her money? I'm as happy as a flower that sips the falling dew. For I've got a little girlie, and she's got the money too. I asked of her a question if she would be my bride. She said, you are the dearest boy that ever lived or died. I told her that I meant it. She said that she did too. Oh, she is the cutest girlie, and she's got the money too. Now won't I love my honey? Lord, yes. Won't I spend her money? Ain't it a sin? I'm as happy as a flower that sips the falling dew. For I've got a little girlie, and she's got the money too.
Jim Lloyd, Tom Mindte.
You
right
remember
here on
what
stage.
Uncle Dave said about Earl Scruggs when he heard
Oh, yeah. Earl Scruggs grew up listening to Dave on the radio, and he was just a kid when he went on the Opry. And Uncle Dave stood off the edge of the stage and watched him, and here's this young kid not moving at all except his hands and burning the strings off the banjo. No animation about him whatsoever. And when Scruggs come off stage, and I'm going to paraphrase this, when Scruggs come off stage, he found himself face to face with Dave Macon, the star. And of course, Scruggs was quiet by nature anyway, and so they just stood and looked at each other. And Uncle Dave looked at Earl Scruggs and said, I'll tell you, Ernest, you ain't one bit funny.
Well, as I was listening to that song, I'm reminded the song has had so many titles. I know it best. It's called 50 Cents, about a young man who takes a woman to the restaurant and she orders everything off the menu. And
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know that one.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I guess we better do kind of a fiddle-ish tune, hadn't we, Tom?
Why not? We ain't got a fiddle, but we can
Well,
do the best we can.
this song is one that Tom and I both really subscribe to, and we practice it and all that.
We used to. I used to.
You used to. I still do it with cereal. This is called Whiskey Before Breakfast. Are you ready? Spirits in the morning. What do you
Whiskey Before Breakfast from Jim Lloyd and Tom Mindte right here at the stage at WTJU. And you can find out more about, well, Patuxent's great label and all the music on there, including the Ghost of Virginia at pxrec.com. Of course, check out Jim's website, jimlloydmusic.com. Well, in these last 9 minutes, how about I just step back and let you all entertain us for the last several minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you all for stopping by WTJU, and thanks to a great audience.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter.
Yeah, you know, this is what you call an intimate setting, right? You got everybody in here together, and that's good. And
That's the biggest crowd we've ever had.
well, I have had smaller crowds. I was playing at the Carpenter Center in Richmond one time, and that's a big theater. It's got a balcony and all that. I walked out on stage, and there was one guy sitting off to the right.
Oh,
And I said, I'm not going to let this bother me. I said, look, I'm going to put on a show for you just like there's 5,000 people in here, and I expect you better brace yourself. And the guy looked at me, and he said, let's get on with it, buddy. I got to clean up after you leave. There's an old song that I am reclaiming for Appalachia. It came out of Appalachia. The first recording was the guy I mentioned a while ago, Clarence Ashley in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. And it went through several incarnations, and Bob Dylan got hold of it, and then a band called The Animals got it, but I'm taking it back. It's called House of the Rising Sun. There is a house down in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and me, oh God, I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans, and my father was a gambling man in the town of old New Orleans. Shuffle them cards, Tom. Now the only life that a gambler knows is a suitcase or a trunk, and the only time that he's satisfied is when he's on a drunk. Boys, fill your glasses right up to the brim. Let the drinks flow merrily round, and we'll drink a toast to the rounder poor boy who roams from town to town. Now, boys, don't believe what a bad woman tells you. Her eyes be blue or brown, lest she's standing on a scaffold high, saying, fellas, they won't let me come down. Go tell my youngest brother for me not to do the awful things that I've done, and to stay away from New Orleans and the house called the Rising Sun. There is a house down in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and me, oh God, I'm one. Thank you. Let's see, Tom, we got time for one more, I guess, don't we? A little bit better than talk. Well, let's see. What do y'all want to hear? You want to hear a banjo or a guitar?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that answer.
Well, that's going to be a little rough.
Yeah, I have to take off my shoes to do it, but we can.
Don't do that.
Let's see.
Well, let's. There's another banjo player that was a big influence on me. This fellow called Grandpa Jones, who I've been told I look a little bit like. I know you know this, Tom. One of his big hits was 8 More Miles to Louisville, so we'll close with that
Okay.
one. Really appreciate y'all putting up with us. I don't get up to Charlottesville too often since I was kind of surprised to see a bunch of old friends walk through the door, so that's always good.
Yeah.
I meant old as in I've known them a long time.
Good thing you clarified that.
Well, once again, thank you all. Thank you. Appreciate you having us on the show. So 8 More Miles to Louisville. I traveled over this country wide seeking fortune fair. I've been down the 2 coastlines, I've traveled everywhere. From Portland East to Portland West, back along the lines. I'm going now to a place that's best, an old hometown of mine. 8 more miles to Louisville will come into my view. 8 more miles this old road and I'll never more be blue. I knew someday that I'd be back, knew right from the start. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart. There's sure to be a girl somewhere that you like best of all. Mine lives in Louisville, she's long and she's tall. She's not the kind of gal you'll find rambling through the land. I'm going there this very day to win her heart in hand. 8 more miles to Louisville will come into my view. 8 more miles to this old road and I'll never more be blue. I knew someday that I'd be back, knew right from the start. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart. I can see it in my mind, a place we'll call home. Lovely little nest for 2 we'll never want to roam. The only place for that little nest is in those bluegrass hills, where gently flows the Ohio by a place called Louisville. 8 more miles to Louisville will come into my view. 8 more miles on this old road and I'll never more be blue. I knew someday that I'd be back, and you're right from the start. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart. We're going to end with Reuben's Train here. Reuben had a train ran from Lynchburg to Spain. Lord, you could hear that whistle blow 100 miles. Oh, Lordy me, oh, Lordy my, you could hear that whistle blow 100 miles. Watch out. My woman says so, I'll moonshine no more. I'll tear my steel down and go home. Oh, Lordy me, oh, Lordy my, I'll tear that steel down and go home. Thank you all.
JimLloydMusic.com, PXREC.com. That's Patuxent's website. Do check them both out and pick up that copy of The Ghost of Virginia. Thank you both.
Thank you.